What's up, guys? Zeri here, back for another VOD review. Today we're going to Vietnam for a YBY1 VOD review. If you guys haven't seen this guy before, he is the beast of Vietnam. I would consider him the best player in Vietnam. Look at that 3.1, very nice average, and also really solid on NA as well. If we go into NA, search up YBY1, look at this. He's rank 13 NA as well. I did a video a while back on how he hit rank 1 on NA and Vietnam at the same time. And if you haven't seen this guy's accomplishments, he's also just kind of a beast. Kind of the perennial like third. He was third at Monsters Attack Worlds, third at Magic and Mayhem Worlds. I feel like every single huge tournament he's in like top 2, top 3, but never actually wins. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But a really good player, someone really good to learn from. I feel like, you know, the fact that he is consistently doing so well in these tourneys and making it to these tourneys and stuff like that is just such an indicator of his strength as a player. You know, sometimes I would always take the player who's gone third at Worlds over a player who's like, you know, spiked and won one random Worlds. You know, some like, I was gonna flame EU for a second, but honestly, KC Double's a really good player, so I can't even flame EU in that spot. But yeah, let's watch some YBY1. And also today he played a comp that I am really interested in because it's one a few people have been like, hey, you should, you know, check out this comp. Let me know how good this comp is, and you know, I haven't gotten a chance to really like check it out. He's also playing on his NA account. You can see he's got a little bit of lag here. Sells off the Zeri too, which is pretty crazy, but like not all that unreasonable when you get to hold on to a Violet pair and a Darius pair. Zeri, I think, as far as most people's understanding of the early game, maybe not even understanding because it's almost objective at this point, yeah, Zeri, just not that good early. Pick up a Vander here, though immediately sell him and hold on to YBY1, actually changing his priority a lot here, but he ends up essentially saying, I want to hold on to Urgot here and Rel here, but just the buy and sell is so wild for me. But yeah, like he buys this, sells this, holds on to the Vladimir here for the Watcher pair with the front line, and then Rel with, I mean, it all makes sense, right? He's holding Pit Fighter, Watcher, and I mean Pit Fighter again, so yeah, makes sense. All right, let's see Augment here. He could take the Quick Striker one. I know YBY1 tends to love that. You know, overall, the other options, even the Quick Striker option, not amazing here. So not that hyped for any of these, really. And then he gets offered this, which is the Wandering Trainer, where you get 2 emblems here. We pick up, it's kind of interesting, we get Firelight and Pit Fighter, which neither of these really, to me, scream like an amazing spot to play anything. But in this moment, from the start, YBY1, it says, you know what, I have a Guinsoo's that I can slam here. I have Guinsoo's plus IE here. So you know what, I am just going to play Zeri from this spot, and I'm actually going to play like the entire game around Zeri, which I think so many people, I think, have been like, is there Zeri reroll comp? Anyone want to play Zeri reroll? And I can't say, you know, hard force Zeri reroll, all you need is to get Firelight +1, but I really just wanted to see this game, how well Zeri reroll does. He's looking at holding onto all these Watchers as well, because there's just very good synergy with that. We're going to get our Scar in later, and honestly have a really early 3 Firelight online. And I mean, if you can get to 4 Firelight, you're quite happy in this comp. But also our items make a ton of sense for it. So yeah, good spot overall. Looks like he's actually a little bit upset that guy picked the Vander Augment, because I assume he was going to reroll for potentially Zeri 3, Vander 3 on level 6, but now it's a bit harder for him. So we'll see. We'll see what YBY1's game looks like. I don't know. I perused through this VOD a bit, as I do with most of the VODs. Like, I don't see everything that's going on in the VOD, but like I take a look just to get to see generally what's going on. And this was an interesting VOD for some things that weren't even like in the game itself. Yeah. Also, I want to move my mic like slightly in this direction because I have to like, okay, give me one sec. There we go. Okay, we're good. It's just I'm standing right now. I guess you guys can't really tell that I'm standing. I could like back up this far away, but I'm standing using my standing desk. I haven't been standing that much recently, and honestly, I just sat for a long gaming session, so I just wanted to get up standing, but I need to move my mic for that. Okay, on carousel here, it looks like we're just gonna finish off the, is this double Rageblade? Double Rageblade IE as far as Zeri items go. I haven't played, I will say, around Zeri reroll at all, so I mean, I think it's actually pretty reasonable for us to just do a quick explorer check on this Zeri 3 unit and just see what the stats say. I mean, you go into builds, double Guinsoo IE, I mean, it's pretty positive on the delta, but I mean, it's not so positive that you would think you would never build it. I mean, Guinsoo and IE look pretty, I mean, Guinsoo actually has a pretty meh delta. Like, it almost looks like builds like without Guinsoo. I mean, it still kind of looks like Guinsoo's pretty necessary though. But yeah, I mean, interesting that I don't know. I mean, it certainly seems like the idea is to just stack a bunch of Guinsus and be pretty happy with that. Triple Guinsus actually, really good stats, and maybe we can actually talk about that later as we get further into the game. But still, all right, Guinsus gonna make the double Guinsus IE. I mean, at the end of the day, she is just auto. That's the champion that Zeri is. So one would think that Guinsus, double Guinsus, would be pretty solid onto her. Going to get the Automata in on this board just to make it a little bit stronger. We are on a 3-loss streak here. It's kind of interesting that YBY1 doesn't seem too afraid of winning these fights. I would really think in this spot that you would be really interested in losing the next two, but maybe he thinks that Zeri's a weak enough early carry. No, we are going to win this one. I don't know. It seems a little sloppy from YBY1. I feel like we could have lost these two. I don't know. He's looking the other way. Maybe he's talking to Twitch chat or something. Or maybe he really just doesn't mind winning in this spot. There are a lot of people out there who kind of say like, it's not the end of the world if you mix streak in the early game. I do think like, I don't know, you'd prefer to 5-loss, certainly. But now, I mean, he's just going to play for his win streak at this point. I will say, you know, we've watched a lot of YBY1, and he is always the type of player who's like perfectly fine with, I mean, less than fine with. He is really, really interested in win streaking and just playing strongest board and saving HP. And can we finish off this Vander? Looks like we can. So we go 3-loss into 2-win. Pretty good spot. And I think YB1 realized, you know, I can go 3-loss, 2-win here and be perfectly happy with this spot. So makes sense. Pick up the Vander here. So now we have the 4 Watcher set up here with no Scar yet, but eventually we'll get there. And then 4 Watcher plus Sniper here with this setup here. We get a Mumu in, a Kog Mao, sorry, and we'll be very, very pleased. All right, another bow. I mean, I guess eventually we can get to that LW. Gargoyle, actually pretty good in Watchers. You know, Gargoyle tends to be lower priority, I feel like, these days, just because so many people are playing towards like Sentinel. Like if you're playing Vertical Sentinel, this item stinks, but we're kind of playing the opposite. We're playing Vertical Watcher here, who actually really ends up liking this Gargoyle. So this works out pretty well. And then I guess we're looking for eventually just an LW. Also, I didn't even really look at it. This lobby, I mean, Dish Soap, Wajan Iverson, and Nico, Riot and Nico in this lobby, Pitsy as well, Sully, TFT. A lot of good names in this lobby, actually. I don't know who a few of these other people are, but I mean, overall, not bad lobby. All right, our couple of win streak is going to get snapped here by Renata 2. I mean, yeah, just quite strong visionary board, so a bit unfortunate. But let's look at Augment here, and this is, you know, the kind of interesting thing. YB1 immediately rules into everything, and he's just going to lock it in. The Anger Issues Zeri game. Remember when we were looking at stats, the stats on theoretically Anger Issues Zeri do actually look quite good. You know, when we were looking at the stats, the triple Guinsus looked very reasonable. It makes sense. You can very happily itemize triple Guinsus onto her and onto Kog'Maw here and feel pretty good, and then the other Guinsus can end up going on like a tank, like your Scar eventually. You know, obviously the Watchers aren't going to be attacking that much on the front line, but it does give respectable tank stats. But yeah, this is going to be the plan, is triple Guinsu Zeri and just have her go off with Anger Issues, which, I don't know. I mean, how many times you get to see somebody play Zeri reroll with Anger Issues? I'm really excited to see how this does. And maybe this is a line that opens up for Anger Issues. We don't have augment stats anymore. So, you know, you can't really just look at like Anger Issues and then see what the best carries are with it. So this can actually be really valuable. You know, if you end up in a spot where you have to take Anger Issues, then, you know, maybe you look at this. Also, yeah, there's something going on in this game. I don't know what this is, because like this is like, I don't know what Gear Up Booster is. Maybe this is, you know, it's probably like his ping. He probably has some like program that helps like reduce his ping or something like that. Maybe that's what he's going in through, but he's like trying to like launch League through it, and I don't know. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll see what happens later in the game with this, but it's kind of interesting. All right, on Carousel here, doesn't really matter. Is he gonna buy this right now? Maybe someone on his, okay, yeah, he's like gonna, okay, he ends up picking up just a 3-cost here, reasonable. But yeah, is he gonna purchase Premium Gear Up Booster? This is like, I don't even know what this program is. This is the opposite of sponsored. Yeah, I would not. I mean, YBY1's using it, so it's probably not so bad, but yeah, I have no idea what this program is. But I mean, you can see YBY1 spending all his time trying to figure out how to navigate this program. Just got the Zeri in the corner and the Kog'Maw in the corner, and his board's not doing bad. He's going to fight this. I can see in the, just right above that thing over there, I can see an Ezreal and a Lux, and we're destroying them. You know, it's such a powerful board, Anger Issues Zeri, that you can just AFK. Honestly, it looks like he's AFK. He's like resetting his router or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, honestly, just chilling here. Doesn't even have to play the game. Hopefully, if he ends up finding something in his shop he wants to get, he'll pick it up. But I don't know. I'm a VOD reviewer. There's not much to analyze that last round, but okay, we're doing some scouting around, seeing that Vander guy has hit a lot of Vanders. Ooh, this guy, really, really interesting setup. He's got the Silco already with the Silco augment that looks like. Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. Okay, we're still working on it, but still winning fights. Honestly, what would I really be saying if we were in this spot and we weren't looking up gear up booster? YBY1, he hit a Zeri 2 on this board. Zeri 2, 4 Watchers with anger issues, and I mean, it's just clearing the entire board. The Firelight +1 is doing something, but like honestly, we're almost down an augment here. You could just imagine we have a Scar on this board instead, and it would be the exact same situation. You're gonna make a double Gargoyles here. We'll actually make another Gargoyles here, but why is the Gargoyles not... Okay, that he had to put it onto a unit for it to turn into Gwinsus. That was weird. I thought it's like when you make the item, it turns into Gwinsus. Whatever. In any case, more Gwinsus getting made here. I guess we don't have to talk about augments or items that much at this point. We do finally pick up the Scar and just throw the Embessa on the board for some extra armor and Mars scales really well with just the damage reduction on it from the Watchers. We are fighting this really, really, really big Vander, though. Honestly, oh my god. Triple Gwinsus Zeri actually just blows through the entire board. We can pick our last augment and be pretty pleased with it. Or we would... Okay, let's look at this. Actually, how does this work? How does Scavenger work with this? It doesn't turn them into Gwinsus, does it? I mean, I guess we'll see here. I imagine it just doesn't turn them into Gwinsus, so maybe we get some solid tank items here. Also, don't know why his screen is like flashing every once in a while, but okay, we're gonna roll down a bit here. Interesting, actually, to point out that he did push 7. He pushed 7 right now. It's just for 5 Watcher on this board. Eventually, yeah, I'm sure he's trying to get the Echo in, but it's actually gonna be a level 7 for this reroll comp, just because you do really want to pick up stuff like the Scar and the Kog'Maw as well. So this is where things get kind of interesting. He's, I guess, using his game up booster or whatever, and he is trying to restart the game, but it takes a little while for YPY1 to get back into the game. Just, I guess, goes to show how strong this comp is, that he finally reconnects at the end of 4 or 5. So he got random item of Carousel here. He ended up getting a Scar too, so I don't know how that, unless he must have randomly gotten Scar off Carousel, or maybe, I don't know, but he was winning these fights while seemingly disconnected from the game, which I don't know, maybe he played on his phone or something, because he did get a Scar too, which is kind of interesting, and an Echo, and he must have played on his phone, which is hilarious. But now we're back in the game. We missed a few rounds, but let's look at Anomaly here. I'm really curious to see what Anomaly looks like. Also, this is really annoying, by the way. And what is this? That's just like flashes between every refresh. I hate this. Okay, reroll enough, and we get, is this 1,000 cuts or something? Where's my translator? I mean, I guess I'll play it here because we know that he has taken it for sure. 1,000 cuts, yeah. It's interesting as well. So we're a lot closer to Zeri 3 than Kog'Maw 3, but he opts to just anomalize the Kog'Maw in this spot. So it's kind of like Zeri Kog'Maw reroll, kind of like the traditional Kog'Maw reroll that we've seen a lot, but using Zeri to kind of get there, and this really, really, cool anger issue setup. I also want to see Scavenger in practice, but I guess we'll have to wait a little bit to see that. But okay, so kind of just pivots Zeri reroll into like Kog'Maw reroll. I mean, it makes sense, right? The board fits beautifully, so you might as well just roll for both here. Use Zeri 2 to catapult you into the Kog'Maw. Would have been cool to see just a straight up Zeri reroll game, and kind of like we ended up playing both more so because we took this Gwinsus augment, which allowed us to itemize both. But I mean, whatever. Zeri Kog'Maw. Will I still put Zeri in the thumbnail? Maybe. I mean, it makes for good clickbait. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, no, I've never clickbaited in my life. Who are you? Who are you to say that? I can't believe you would say such a thing. Also, we never got Echo in. We were only 3 Firelight at this point. So yeah, he just got the 2-star guy. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're really close to Zeri 3 at this point. Going to continue to send it here. Pick up another Gwinsus, of course. Honestly, yeah, I think you're gonna roll it relatively deep here. 4 Firelight's huge, and the Zeri 3 to stabilize us. Very nice. All right, it's Zeri reroll. I mean, look at that. We hit a Zeri 3, and she's gonna do a lot of damage. She doesn't have 1,000 cuts, but I mean, come on. I mean, Kog'Maw is just... I mean, I wonder if this is the way to play it. I really wanted to see a crazy Zeri anomaly here, but maybe you still just always 1,000 cuts Kog'Maw, even if you're playing around Zeri, just because like 1,000 cuts just scales with how many times he's autoing. As long as you have a lot of auto attacks on Kog'Maw, you're pretty happy. Though honestly, that damage chart is a bit concerning. 15,000 damage from Zeri, and our Kog'Maw is really not doing much. Pretty close to Scar 3 at this point, so it'll be interesting to see when YBO1 makes the call to roll it down here. But I think honestly, our board's quite strong, 64 HP. YBO1's making the call to econ back up at this point. This is kind of a very important call at this point to decide like how much you want to econ, how much you want to roll here. We are fighting. Oh my god, that's a Jace 2, Heimerdinger 2. Yeah, I think we are going to get pretty stomped by this, so we're going to feel a little bit bad, actually, by not rolling this round. Because, like, this call here to roll or not to roll has huge implications for the rest of our game. If we roll too deep here, we might not be able to actually hit Kog'Maw 3, and I think that's why we once call, is that we're really healthy. Even after losing that fight, we're still quite strong here. Now, after losing that fight, I think he starts to kind of like hear the alarm bells ringing, and he's like, you know what, I'm one off this thing. I'm going to roll pretty deep here. Also moves the items over to Echo for now. I wonder if this is going to be, these items will stay on Echo for now. We have 4 Reforgers, now 3 Reforgers, so we can always just move them right back over to Scar the second we hit Scar. I wonder, though, if with 4 Watchers, is Scar still not... I mean, I guess he just wants to put the items on a damage dealer. But yeah, I mean, you're going to lose another fight here. A little low for YBO1, and a little bit sad that, you know, we haven't hit the Scar 3 yet, because that's a huge part of the board, being able to actually just have the front line to buy time. I mean, it's especially with all these Gwynsu's, we just need to buy time, and we are not buying time at this point. Also, what has Scavenger been doing in these fights? I guess we'll... maybe I should be taking a closer look, but I feel like Scavenger has not been doing anything. Is it like bugged or something? Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe it's been farming items this entire time. This is Scavenger, right? All right, let's roll it down, pick up the Scar 3. Is he going to keep items on Echo and just say, you know what, the tank stats on Scar, who cares? That's crazy to me. I feel like I would definitely move these items over. Maybe his thought is that, you know, for Firelight Echo, okay, yeah, he's going to move items over to Scar. Yeah, I was like, that seems insane. All right, let's see when he kills some units what the Scavenger value is. I mean, maybe the problem is that all of his other units, yeah, he is actually... It looked like he was getting, yeah, he is getting Scavenger value. The problem is all of his other units are dying so quickly that sometimes it's just these guys alive. But yeah, okay. And Scavenger doesn't farm extra Gwynsu's. It does farm like items for these other units. Makes sense. All right. So 3-star on 2 of our important units, but still waiting on Mr. Kog'Maw to join us. That is the way that we cap out this board. That is the way that we end up, you know, capping high enough to even top 4 this lobby, because this lobby seems disgustingly high capped. We're going to fight this board again. This is back-to-back. We fought him at actually, I guess it's not perfectly back-to-back, but it's still, it's bad to bad for YBY1, because he really would prefer to take a... I mean, not a bad loss here. He would prefer to fight probably anybody else here, just because I think that's the strongest guy in the lobby by far here. But okay, a lot of people low. YBO1 still chilling because of just the strength of his early game with this Zeri. I don't know. I was really impressed by just the Gwynsu's, the anger issues Zeri, and just how much work it was doing. Also, how does this fire emblem? I haven't really been paying attention, but does it? Yeah, the dummy flies. That's so funny, actually. That's so sick. All right, take whatever item. Ooh. Wow, I'm surprised he doesn't actually roll for Cog here, because this level almost says, you know, like, okay, who cares if I don't hit Cog 3? Wow. Blown away by that play, actually. I would not have done this ever at all, especially because, like, it's not like we can play 6 Watcher on this board. Like, he ends up leveling just 4 LeBlanc, but I guess he just wants the consistent power. That's actually crazy to me. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to find the Cog eventually on 8, but we're so low here. I for sure would have rolled for the 3-star Cog there, but I mean, you know, he's YBO1. I can't disagree with him. And oh my god, the 1000 cuts Cog actually pops off. I mean, that fight, I must say, obviously it would have been a Cog 3 diff if we had found it, but it was also certainly a LeBlanc diff. So yeah, I mean, hats off to YBO1. That level ended up, if he had not hit Cog there, that level is a difference between, you know, top 4ing and potentially, you know, not top 4ing at all. And Nico actually FFs here saying, you know what, I'm too weak. Or maybe he's just happy with his top 4. He's like, I'm the weakest person in the lobby, so I'll just FF here. We do have to fight this pretty strong board out of, is this Bunzigu? But maybe we can buy enough time here. We are both really heavily scaling comp, so I wonder, oh my god, the Kog'Maw actually still Cog 2. I'm going to put Zeri in the thumbnail, but I mean... the Kog'Maw is like really in the thumbnail, like secretly, because this Kog'Maw with just the triple Gwynsu's with the anger issues is actually doing insane work, just especially with 1000 cuts, right? It makes sense, right? 1000 cuts, you probably, it's one of those anomalies that it makes a lot of sense to just roll straight down for. Like finding 1000 cuts when your anger issues, I mean, makes an insane amount of sense. This Kog'Maw is just, all he's doing is auto attacking, so getting 1000 cuts value is really nice here. Once again, this is a fight where our frontline ends up dying, but just the Firelight value is so good. We end up splitting the board. It's hard for them to just like AoE down anybody. Yeah, it's actually sick. There should be something where, like, if you get a Gwynsu's with anger issues, it should turn into a Radiant Gwynsu's. That's like a horrible idea, by the way. That sounds like horrible to balance, but like, I wish he was more excited to get this Gwynsu's, because he like, but he's not, because that's not how the augment works. Also, we're getting really close to our Kog'Maw 3. Yeah, okay. Still one off, still have not hit yet, but almost there. Also, wow, he really, that's shocking to me. But I mean, the Gwynsu's are obviously better on backliners. This is ideas. Like, why leave these Gwynsu's on a frontliner like this, who's really Gonna spend so much of his time just tanking and casting. Rather throw this onto LeBlanc, get her to cast faster. And I mean, her casting is really, really nice onto this board. Just making sure everyone shares the pain, and then the Kog'Maw is just burning everybody down. Like it makes a ton of sense here. Still rolling. Honestly, I thought that Amumu was a Kog'Maw for a second because they, have similar portraits, but still not winning. But I mean, or still not hitting, but still on a 4 streak here. Pretty surprising. I think it's because he's fighting. Yeah, once he fights the real Harl, because he fought Clone, right? His matchmaking actually has been pretty good, but he is gonna fight the real now. So we'll see. Or maybe LeBlanc is enough just to... I mean, if he wins this fight, then LeBlanc was huge on this board, and then I'll shut up for YY1 forever. But yeah, okay, this is still a loss. Fair enough. Down to 4 HP. Banzigu, this person dies. Really? Please, where's our Kog'Maw? Because maybe if we can hit Kog'Maw, we'll actually have enough DPS to just get through this board. And the Kog'Maw and the Zeri just like being partners in crime. Like I feel like they actually do such a good job together. And, if someone walks down to target the Kog'Maw, and then Zeri can just get insane snipers value. So... we'll see what we get here. Hopefully a duplicator. Okay, no dupe. Where's the Cog? There's Warwick. Garen 2. I mean, he's considering playing Warwick over the LeBlanc, but then he just opts to not play it. The Mel over the LeBlanc actually makes a lot of sense here. The extra shielding, really, really good onto these Watchers, and Mel just a great unit. Also, probably a really, really nice Gwynsu carrier, kind of similar to all these other units that they fly away. All right, we fight this board, which is really, really nice. Let's see what Mel can do on this board, shielding our board casting. Her cast doesn't stack Gwynsus at all, which I guess is not amazing, but still, she's just dashing around, getting a lot of value out of it. Yeah, I mean, good win here. This is that person eliminated, so one more fight. Can we find Kog'Maw 3 before the game ends? We only have one roll to do it, and oh my god, he does find it. Now, is this enough, especially with the Mel in here, to beat this guy? Because our board's as upgraded as it can get. If we lose this fight, then we were always meant to lose this fight. So let's see. Also, I love his positioning, just fully spreading as much as possible, just trying to reduce any power of like AoE that's going to happen here. Stuff like Rumble ult. So, I mean, I love this positioning. Also gives him really good sniper's value. Mel dashing around, Kog'Maw ulting. The Zeri actually buying a ton of time. Kog'Maw, and he wins the... I mean... a dub on this comp with anger issues. I mean, just what a cool game, actually. I mean, look at this post-match summary. You gotta love it. Really, really, really fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my link to my coaching for my Metafy down below, and my Twitch and all my other stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, thanks for watching. I already said that. Okay, goodbye.